Xenia Soborova, Chief Business Development Officer at ITEZ, a cutting-edge SaaS that assists businesses in accepting crypto deposits via bank cards.
Hi, my name is Xenia and I'm CBDO at ITEZ. We help companies in crypto to accept the bank card deposits. And today I would like to cover a little bit of my experience and also to share the market changes, how we have come from the old ways of accepting crypto deposits with bank cards to actually the new ways. So what are they and what exactly is new? And I would also like to cover the experience of ITEZ in the market with that regard. So I'd like to start with the current state of the market. So I've been in crypto since 2017 for about 4 years now. And I've noticed that, well, the market has really developed. We have plenty of services to buy crypto. And at the same time, I get a lot of questions from the customers. Where to buy crypto? How do I buy Bitcoin? And that is also kind of a question to crypto businesses like exchanges and wallets, because their aim and main goal is to actually successfully onboard and retain new customers. And I think, well, to me, the best way to do that is to actually top up with bank card, because it's something we are so commonly used to, and we do that quite often. So I don't know actually why, and I think it's the best way. So coming to that, so what are actually the old ways of accepting crypto with bank cards? I think there are plenty of them, but in this conversation, I would like to focus a little bit more on direct acquirer and working with a third party, which ITEZ is also a part of. So when we talk about accepting crypto deposits via acquirer, it always comes to my mind that it's a more suitable way for actually big business, because, well, on the one hand, the positive side is that you have a transparency of operations and you are also able to negotiate a lower commission as a big company. But then on the downside is that you actually have a lot of costs. They are both the financial risks that are related to chargebacks to covering the rolling reserve as well, and also the legal risks because you have to cover fraud yourself. And exactly because of that, the long onboarding process can happen. So it usually takes from 6 months to 1 year to actually be able to sign up with an acquirer, which I think is quite a lot. And to wrap it up, you have to have a dedicated team that is able to support an acquirer for a daily basis. So how exactly what are the other ways to do that? And the other ways to work with a third party. With that being said, ITEZ is one of them. So the old school fiat to crypto providers are actually I'm pretty sure you know the names of those companies, and I think they've done a great job because they provide a ready-made solution to quickly start accepting the bank cards. Then when we come to risks, they're usually quite low because the companies cover chargebacks, they cover fraud as well. But then as a user, I've noticed that a lot of those companies have actually a very poor user experience. So you have a long onboarding process. You have to fill in all this information about yourself, and then the KYC may take up to 2 days, which I think is quite a long time to wait. But on the business side of things, those companies have, unfortunately, quite low card acceptance rates, usually like between 30 to 40, which means that a whole bunch of potential items to make a purchase is going to nowhere, and you do not receive it as a company. And obviously, one of the drawbacks is that you basically depend on a third-party provider. And then we come to also the question of acceptance rate, because I was talking about it. Why is it so important? Since I work a lot with crypto businesses, I get the question, what is your commission, and whether you have the lowest price on the market, which I think is definitely very, very important. But if we look at this very simple comparative model with a provider one that has, imagine it has the lowest price on the market to buy Bitcoin with a bank card, but also it has quite low card acceptance rate, which is around 50%. That would mean that as a business, out of all the potential atoms to buy crypto, with a bank card, you would only get half of it actually as a successful deposit on the platform. So you lose a lot of money as a business. But then look at the provider 2, which has higher card acceptance rate. The good part of it is that actually pretty much regardless of what the price for Bitcoin is, because card acceptance rate is really high, 80%, you will get the majority of transactions being successfully coming to your platform as a deposit. So here we come to the new ways of crypto depositing via bank cards. I think that the industry has changed and it requires a lot of like a modern approach to that. And ITEZ and some other providers have been quite keen on looking at the problems that the market has faced with regard to crypto depositing. And I think I mentioned here on this slide the major aspects of what should be done differently and what the services are doing differently now. So the most important thing is that those companies take all the risks, like chargebacks, covering fraud as well. They are also keen on neat customer experience, and that's really nice to see in crypto in general, I think, to have a user-friendly, very simple interface and simple flow for a customer. Transparent pricing, I think that's the most important thing, because I've seen a lot of different hidden fees, and as a user, I really kind of hate it myself, because you try to buy crypto and then you see that at some final stage, actually your price is changing because the Bitcoin price has changed, because you have some hidden exchange fees. Pretty upsetting, actually. And the fourth thing is, of course, card acceptance rate. It should be really high to get all the deposits through. And as I'm working within the partnerships at ITEZ, I think it's important to also mention kind of my experience. I think the most important from our side is that to be able to ensure that we take all the risks for our partners, while also being able to deliver all the benefits of accepting bank cards for crypto deposits. And for our partners, we are also quite welcoming to become a source of liquidity for ITEZ and to earn from every transaction made through the widget that we have immediately. And here, I just want to wrap it up a little bit and say what's the difference between the regular fiat to crypto providers, like old school way, and the new way, which I hope is representing, and I'm doing my best to ensure that as well from my side. So I think we can talk about two ways. One is what are the benefits for partners and what's the difference for partners, and the second, what's the benefits for the end users, the end customer. Here, when we talk about the customer, the most important is the UX. It should be neat, it should be super simple, it should be in 1 or 2 clicks, and that's what we aim with the service that we provide. And secondly, QIC. As I mentioned before, old school providers can have it up to 2 days. At ITEZ, we usually aim to do that within 15 to 20 minutes. And as for the businesses, of course, for the partners, the most important thing is that we do not have any fees at any point, no onboarding fees. We cover all of that ourselves, and of course, acceptance rate. We are quite proud at our acceptance rates. Those are depending, of course, on GEOs, but in general, it's around 80 to 85%, which means that the majority of atoms to buy crypto will get through successfully to the platform. And to wrap up the conversation, I just thought maybe I can give you some pro tips for choosing your provider, regardless it's a gateway, like a middleman, like ITEZ, or an acquirer. First of all, really look at the legal side. Take care of licensing of the company that you're aiming to work. It sounds pretty simple and pretty obvious, but still really talk to your legal advisor and check the company before you start to work with. Secondly, you should definitely ask for transparency in numbers. Ask for the fraud rates and card acceptance rates. Those are the indicators of how the acquirer or a gateway is good at the work that they're doing. And thirdly, I think you should definitely get more than one provider, because you should not really trust bank card payments in just one hand. Try to make it a stable thing, and if something will happen with one of the providers, you will also have someone else to support you with that, not to lose the revenue that is coming from that method of payment. That was pretty much it. Thank you for your attention. I'm really happy. If you have any questions, I'll try to look at the chat if there is any. And yeah, thanks a lot.